How to actually say no and avoid the yes trap. Episode 3. Hey there, boundary builders. Welcome back to Catalyst Guru. Last episode, we talked about why saying no is your secret weapon against burnout, but today, we're rolling up our sleeves and diving into the how. If you haven't heard the earlier episodes, check the links below. Let's face it, saying no isn't always a walk in the park. It's more like navigating an obstacle course with flaming hoops, blindfolded. You want to assert your boundaries without sounding rude, unhelpful, or heaven forbid, arrogant. But there's good news. With a bit of finesse and practice, you can master the art of the polite, firm no. Step 1. Start with empathy when declining a request. It helps to acknowledge the person's perspective. People appreciate being heard, and showing empathy can soften the blow of a no. For example, instead of, "I can't do that," try, "I understand this is important to you, but I'm unable to take it on right now." See how much gentler that sounds? It lets the other person know you respect their needs while reinforcing your own limits. Step 2. Be honest, not defensive. The temptation to over-explain can be strong. After all, you don't want the other person to think you're lazy or unwilling to help. But here's the thing. The more defensive you sound, the more it weakens your stance. Stick to a clear, honest response without too much justification. For instance, "I'm already at capacity with my current workload. This falls outside my area of expertise, and I wouldn't be the best person for the job." These statements are factual and professional. They don't leave room for debate or guilt trips, and they maintain your credibility. Step 3. Offer an alternative, if you can. Sometimes a straight-up no feels a bit too harsh, especially if you genuinely want to help but can't take on the full responsibility. In these cases, offering an alternative can be a great middle ground. For example, "I can't help with this right now, but I'd be happy to review it later in the week. I'm not available to lead this project, but I can suggest someone else who might be able to assist." This approach shows that you're a team player while keeping your boundaries intact. It's the workplace equivalent of saying, "It's not you, it's me, but here's a better option." Step 4. Use humor to disarm awkwardness. Humor can be a lifesaver in tricky situations. If the relationship permits, a light-hearted comment can make your no feel less formal and more relatable. For instance, "If I had a clone, I'd love to help. Unfortunately, it's just me, and my plate is full. I'd say yes, but I promised myself I'd stop committing to projects after midnight." Of course, this works best when you know the person well enough to gauge their sense of humor. A joke can backfire if it comes across as flippant, so tread carefully. Step 5. Practice the broken record technique. Some people don't take no for an answer easily. They'll push back, argue, or try to guilt you into saying yes. For these persistent individuals, the broken record technique can be your best friend. Here's how it works. Pick one polite, firm response and repeat it as needed. For example, "I'm sorry, but I can't take this on right now." Or no matter how they try to persuade you, stick to your response, don't elaborate, and don't engage in a debate. Eventually they'll get the message and possibly move on to the next person on their list. The biggest challenge is when you need to say no to your boss. The ultimate challenge. Declining a request from the person who signs your paycheck. While it's definitely trickier, it's not impossible. The key is to focus on framing your response as a prioritization of tasks rather than outright refusal. For example, "This is a great idea, and I want to give it the attention it deserves. To do that, I'd need to shift some of my other priorities. Would you like me to do that?" Or "Hadn't love to help, but my current workload might make it hard to meet your expectations. Could we look at deadlines together to see what's feasible?" Notice how both responses show respect for their authority while demonstrating your awareness of your limits. Bosses appreciate employees who think critically about their workload rather than blindly taking on more. The long-term benefits of saying no. When you make a habit of setting boundaries, you're not just protecting yourself, you're improving the overall quality of your work relationships. Here's why. Clarity. People know what they can and can't expect from you. Consistency. By standing firm, you build a reputation as someone who values integrity and quality. Mutual respect. Your colleagues are more likely to respect your time if you respect it yourself. Let me stress on this point. Saying no might feel uncomfortable at first, but the payoff is worth it. Over time, you'll find yourself feeling less stressed, more productive, and, dare I say, more confident. In the next episode, we'll look at real-world examples of how to tailor your no for different workplace personalities. From the overbearing boss to the needy coworker, you'll learn how to adapt your approach without compromising your boundaries. If you laughed, cried, nodded along, share it to someone stuck in the yes trap, be their wake-up call. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll catch up with you next week.